Bible meditation this morning. It seems like I'm doing this in the mornings, at least for now. I forgot the time and the place, but so far it's working out to be the morning. Jess has gotten up, gone to the gym. Gunnar was curled up on me, so opened my Bible app and had started a red letter plan. So it pointed me at Luke 6:20, which that one line, one verse is, looking at his disciples, he said, "Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of God." Goes on to say in 21, "Blessed are you who hunger now, for you'll be satisfied. Blessed are you who weep, for you will laugh." 22 is, "Blessed are you when people hate you, when they exclude you and insult you and reject your name as evil because of the Son of Man. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, because great is your reward in heaven, for that is how their ancestors treated the prophets." This is a New International Version. It's pointing out that if these are the things you're suffering, these are the things that the old prophets were made to suffer from their contemporaries at the time. So if that's happening to you, then you are in good company. He follows up to say, "Woe to you who are rich, for you have already received your comfort. If you're well fed, you'll go hungry." So surface level looks like the physically poor, those without money. If you're actually physically hungry, or if you're crying now, that ensures you're going to heaven. But that's too simple. Jesus didn't rarely, first blush was the full depth of it. So in diving into it a little farther, looking into a cross-reference in Matthew, said basically the same thing. I think it's saying that people in their need, always, Christians in their need, let's say, and non-Christians quite often, in their time of need, that's when they pray, that's when they lean on God. People in the ease, people who have a lot, people who have comfort and no struggle, start to think they did that thing. They made themselves, they made these positions for themselves. Their ease was because of their good doing. It's easy to start thinking that it wasn't God, it was you. But when people are poor, they will lean into God, sometimes even blame God, but certainly acknowledging Him in all that. So the message for me is, make sure not only in times of need am I leaning in, not only with the release from struggle when there's a success, that I give that to God as well, that I don't start to take the successes as my doing and the struggles as His, anything like that, that the important thing is to always lean into Him. My Uncle Leonard had said something in a post I had made, that the trick is to not get so far away that it takes a big deal to make us lean into God, to constantly be doing that kind of thing. So I am in a season now of some struggle financially, but that's not my point. We are looking at getting a multi-generational house, worth, relative to the rest of the world, a lot of money. And we were very much praying, Jessica and I, very much praying into that space. And I know Carolyn and my mother-in-law and my father as well have always been praying on it and trying to make sure that we're doing what God is directing us to do and fulfilling our part of His plan in this. It does feel very God-centered and God-guided, just with the number of things that lined up to make this current situation. But Jessica and I really struggled today with getting this new house. There's just a whole bunch of things happening, and they panned out. We got this new house. We're under contract. It is amazing what it's going to do for our kids and mom and dad. Just all of us together is going to be amazing. And God showed off in this. This couldn't have happened without him. We recognize that. We did our part to listen and to be obedient and to stay in faith through it. There were tests in the time that we could have thrown our hands up and said, well, this isn't God's will, and just given up. But I always feel like you have to take these things to the end of your ability to make sure you did everything you could do. And then when it happens, when those things are fulfilled, and you did everything you could do and that wasn't enough, there was still something in the air, then that points only to God. The situation we found ourselves in, we were third place on the offers. We were beat out by 2 other offers. But the seller came back to us. I think we bumped into them at the showing that we were doing and had a brief interaction. Maybe they liked that it was us and my dad, and we had Gwenny, and I know our realtor did a great job of communicating, but these were all things God lined up to turn the heart of this seller to the third place offer. It doesn't make any sense that the offer that was a lot more than us got turned down. The offer that was halfway between us and a lot more than us, we were able to come up, match that offer exactly, not go above it, match that offer, and be accepted. And so went from third place on this house to being under contract on it. It's amazing to be posting about that as it gets a little more real. But all that to say that I didn't let this moment of plenty become about me. I mean, Jessica and I were thanking God exuberantly. We got off the phone with the realtor after signing the contract and all of these things. It's only God's doing that got this there. We did what we can do, and it was not enough. We lost based on our work, but God turned hearts to us and that got us this amazing house. So remember to stay humble, to stay hungry, to stay in that position of need for him, because you need him. We all do all the time, but it's easy to be the rich man in this story, to be the rich person, the rich woman in this story, that woe to the rich, you have already received your comfort. If you don't use what you receive from him for his glory, then you're doing it wrong. The Christian mission is to pass these things along, to take the grace and the positives that we're given and try to make other people see God in those. And that's why I'm making this video. It's why I do a lot of the things I can do, is to just model and disciple that lifestyle and try to always remain grateful and humble in these moments, especially the moments of prosper. So today and all the other days, but today, big, huge praise to God of him making this a success. I didn't do it. I couldn't have done it. I did what I needed to do. I did what I felt God was telling us to do. That put us in a position for then him to get us across the finish line in a way only he could. So there you go. God is good. Dive in.